Hi, hello everyone. I hope that you guys are doing a fantastic day. I'm very excited to be here today with you. I am here with one of my business partners, Cheryl from Nova Scotia. I was talking about a surprise today for you, so this is my surprise. I am very excited to have Cheryl here with me because I always used to do live with a lot of other business partners who are from different cities, different countries. But this time I found Cheryl that she actually lives here as well in Nova Scotia. And we got connected, and I'm so happy that she's here with me today. So we are going to be waiting maybe for a few people to join as well. And let us know if you hear us well. We are actually in a very beautiful local coffee shop here, and we're having fun. It's very nice, cozy, and I think it's the best place to have live. So we are going to go talk about how we started to have a side job, why we decided actually to have a side income, and why we chose this business over hundreds of other businesses out there. As we all know, there are actually a lot of them.
There's lots, yes.
Yeah, and so I will start with getting Cheryl to introduce herself to anyone who's watching us right now, or to anyone who's going to be watching this live playback. So go ahead, Cheryl.
Hi, I'm really pleased to be here. This is my first go live. And then we are in a beautiful spot. We're at the Mellow Mug, which is in Bedford, Nova Scotia. I am Cheryl, and I am an accountant from Halifax. And I've lived in Halifax for probably the last 30 years. I'm originally from Cape Breton. And love this business, and we connected through, weren't really not connected through our business, but we all are in the same line of business. So it's been great connecting.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for introducing yourself. So anyone who's watching, if you don't hear us well, please let us know so we can maybe change the spot a little bit, or kind of put on the volume and things like that. So if you don't hear us very well, please let us know. So I'm just going to be introducing myself as well to anyone who's watching this live from Cheryl's page. My name is Mahsa. I am from here in Nova Scotia as well, originally from Iran. I've been here in Nova Scotia for almost 15 years now, and I have been very lucky to come here actually with my family. So I've been kind of like working in financial industry. So I worked in a bank first, and then insurance. I've been in insurance for 10 years now. And it's been like a few months, like 7-8 months, that I've started this side business as well. Like the exciting part of it is that it's for me, like it's all about like what I choose. Like I think that's the same thing for your Cheryl as well.
Definitely.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
So we're very excited about this business because we can build it ourselves, and it's very kind of like related to each person. So I have a business that I build like based on my own personality, based on my own kind of a personal kind of a preferences, and Cheryl does it a different way, but we are under the same kind of a umbrella of this system. So it's a kind of like a system that it was found by two Canadian, like almost 6-7 years ago, but it's been proven. So they started with like 4 or 5 people, and I think now we are 130 or 126,000. Yes. So there are 126,000 business owners now. So that means that it's been working for a lot of people, and there are a lot of them very successful. So I'm going to go ask the first question, Cheryl. You're on a hot spot.
I know. Yeah.
So why did you choose this business? Because as we said, there are tons of online businesses right now out there, and a lot of kind of different features that they provide. But why did we choose this one?
So there were a couple of reasons why I ended up choosing this one, but I guess the biggest part of it was that the back end systems of this business were top notch. So they have the training that's available, and like both of us said, we both work full time. So building the business meant that you had to do it, like if you were doing a traditional one, you might end up having to do it on a schedule of somebody else's schedule. This way you can do and build the business as you like. So you take the training and you do it, but you could do it at 6 in the morning, you could do it at midnight, you can do it whenever you want to. The other piece of it is coming into this business and not having any knowledge about how to market online and how that all works. Having a proven system that would allow you to kind of tap into it, but they do all the heavy lifting when it comes to helping you build your website, having funnels built for you and emails and all of the stuff that I knew nothing about before coming into the business. And another thing, and we talked about it before, is the fact that I needed something that was above board, ethical and legitimate, that I could really get behind before I kind of invested my time and money.
Yes.
About you?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
I am actually the same because we talked about this a little bit. In my other lives, I kind of brought this up as well, that my son, when he was born, we had to send him to daycare, like right after he hit the 1-year-old, because we both were working in, like we still do, in a kind of like a corporate job. So we had to go to work. We couldn't take more time off with no pay. And I had to send him to the daycare, and he started to not liking it, a lot of problems. And I know that a lot of moms out there, they have this kind of same problems or even sometimes worse. And I was looking to have something that I could like maybe build a little bit of more flexible time for him. At the same time, another thing that was very, very important always to me was my retirement, my husband and myself retirement, that we wanted to have a promising one. Like we knew that like we grow and we are going through different positions, like better, higher positions, better pay, everything. But at the end, when we get to the retirement, probably that wasn't something that we expected. So we don't get to have that much of a saving for our retirement. Like even now with a lot of expenses, and like the last few years with a lot of kind of a shift in, like say, interest rates, gas now, inflation, everything, it's making it much, much harder to have any saving at all. And it seems like to be even getting worse every year. So it's not going to be better in that matter. We have to find something on the side as a support. So that was something that my husband and I were always concerned, but because we're not there yet, we were maybe kind of putting it off a little bit. But then after a few years, I started to see like a lot of people taking advantage of like now social media, digital world, online world. And a lot of them are very successful as well. I never dared actually to be them, but I always inspired them as well. That like they're very brave to take that step, because it takes time. Like it does take time even for this business. Like it's like any other businesses.
You have to work at it.
Exactly. Like as you said, like I didn't have any skills in social media. I had just Facebook. I never had Instagram before I started this business. My mom actually knew how to use Instagram better than me. So it was hard to even think about it. And I was a very personal person all the time. So I was just kind of not posting about my family, nothing like that. And then when I came to this business with the kind of like, it was an eye opener for me, because I started to see that there are different ways that you can technically be creative with it. You don't have to, like as you said, you haven't gone live much, because like you have other ways to market and do advertising. So they teach us how to professionally do the marketing and advertising, even if we don't go live, even if we don't post a lot about ourselves or our family or anything like that, we still have other options to introduce this opportunity to anyone who's interested, because I was the same. I was watching a lady who was in my LinkedIn, and I got connected that way because her life was like very like me. So she was posting, but there are a lot of other friends that I have. They don't like to post a lot. They don't like to go live a lot. But so the whole thing is, there are lots and lots of options, and you can be creative. Like, you can learn from the training that they provide. You have a coach, you have a mentor. So I'd gone through like a couple of other online businesses, and they just gave me a few links, and they said like, go ahead and figure it out. Yeah, you're on your own. So I gave up because I had no idea what I'm doing. But in this business, after I went through the trial, I found out that not just they provide you with a very, very step-by-step thorough training. At the same time, they provide you with a coach, with a mentor, and they give you a lot of options, like those masterminds that they do 2 times a week. I learn a lot from the experienced people from there. So there are a lot of options there that are available to us to learn, to get better, to grow, and it's all just up to us to take advantage. So it's like any other businesses, but the good thing about it is I didn't want to deal with products. I didn't want to have a party in my home to kind of share the products. A lot of people, they might like it, they might be good at it. I'm not. So I wanted to have something that can be done online, but with no products. Obviously, there are some products involved as well,
but we don't have
to sell them, or we don't have to promote them. We just buy one of those products based on our budget, just for technically an investment to this business. And the other good thing about this one was the options for investments. They were very different options. Like, anyone with different budget could find one of those options that they can go through. So it's a lot of features that we cannot put all of them out there, but there are a few things that I loved about this one.
Yeah, it definitely is flexible. It has the ability to go with you, and most of the time you can do like we're doing right now. We're going live on a phone.
We were trying to put it on a computer, but it didn't work, so I pulled out my phone. So we are talking, actually we are going live on my cell phone right now.
But the majority of all of the training can be utilized using your phone, all of your Facebook or all of the social media accounts, all through your phone. So you're free to be able to travel anywhere that there really is an internet connection. And that level of flexibility, and you touched on the retirement fund. I'm a lot closer to retirement than you are, but I was looking for something else to help me build that retirement nest egg. And I realized, for much the same reasons you did, that with inflation, with the general cost of living has gone up. The Canadian CPP is not going to cover it. Your investments, while you may have them, may not be what you want them to be. So that's, for me, was one of the things. And then being able to have something that I could then be flexible enough that I could travel and take it with me. I have a full-time job, and I love my full-time job, but it's something that we talked about this too. Is like, it's a plan B. It's a something that you have and on the side that will allow you to build your nest egg, to plan for trips, whatever your why is, why you would ever want to start an online business. And it is your business, and you have to work it, but it has so many different options to be able to, from an investment standpoint, the products that we have, and the investment, there are different price points, there are different levels of investments, there's different ways to advertise, there's all kinds of things that will allow you to get into this business at your your time, your flexibility, your own path. You're going to have your own path, and we met through this community. But the community is over 100 and some thousand, 100,000, and that's another thing that was really a positive thing from this business. There are people from all walks of life. It's a global community, but one of the things that attracted me, and that you said you got your connection through a LinkedIn, I ended up getting mine through Facebook. It was a Facebook advertisement, but it was from someone from New Brunswick. And so I was like, okay, so he can do this. And I didn't even really know what digital marketing and what that looked like at the time. So it was eye-opening, and being able to, there's a webinar that you watch, and I think I watched it probably 3 times.
I did the same. Yeah.
So I watched it and watched it and watched it, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to take the leap and do my due diligence and figure it out. Everything that you invest at the beginning there's a refund policy, and so that refund policy allows you to do this risk-free.
Exactly.
Right? So you're able to go in and do the due diligence, and you'd be, foolhardy, I guess, not to do your due diligence in this market,
Yes.
With social media. But you do that, you make the leap, and and you grow your business at your pace.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cheryl. That was a great point, because a lot of people, they say, like, I don't have the skills, I don't have the time, or just give me an explanation of this system, like in few sentences or something like that. But I always say, like, if you really, really have a strong why, that you want to have your own business and you want to have something like this, like an online business, you don't want to deal with like having maybe a restaurant, or you don't want to deal with selling your specific products or things like that, and you have a very strong reason behind it, then you have to make time. You have to do, as you said, like your due diligence. You have to research. Like, you don't just have to listen to me and Cheryl. There are 120,000 other of business owners in this business that when you go to the trial, they can, like, I did the same. I watched the webinar 2 times. It didn't click. I was like, what are they talking about? And then when they said something about the $149, to be honest, I was scared. I was like, oh my, this is probably something either scam, or they want to get my money and they're not providing, because I had that background in my mind that I had a couple of them that I paid, and they just gave me some few things, and
you're on your own.
So I paid for it. So, but I trusted the person who brought me to this business, and I knew that she is a legit person. I knew that she is a kind of like a person who works already, and she has kids, and like she had like a lot of things like my own life. I was the same. I was thinking, if she is doing it, something is going that I can probably do my research, and I can find out. So I went to the 30 days trial, and then I was like, wow, this is a different world. Again, that time I was a little bit kind of sketchy as well. I was like, what is going on? Like, are they really making this much, or like, what, they're not selling anything, so how do they make money? So then they provided me with the 4 hours of those info session, like a coaching, that explained everything in details and started to make sense and click. That was the time I told my husband that I'm in. And I have a very actually supportive husband.
That's good.
He was like, okay, go for it. I am supporting you 100%, and he's still supporting me. So I have to thank him here as well. But without our own, like, without having a strong why, and without our own researches and putting effort to anything, nothing will come up. Like, even if I say this is the best business, if anyone comes in and they want like everything to be done for them, that's not going to work, because it is something that you're building for yourself, for your own future, and it is transferable to our kids as well. So that's another part of it.
Yep.
That wherever we left off, our kids, if they want, they can pick it up from there, and it's going to be under their name. So it's going to be their own business as well.
Business. Yeah, it's interesting. Like one of the things I remember that stuck out when I think it was one of the masterminds where they were talking about this is a system that's 90% done for you,
Yes.
and 10% is your effort. Like your 10% is really important.
That's
so
true.
the commitment that you have to the business and the consistency that you end up having to the business is important.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that we wanted to talk about how we started and why we started, and I wanted actually to see Cheryl in person. It was the first time kind of having a live in person with one of my business partners. I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting
coming.
me.
Thank
Yeah.
you. We'll be in touch
Yes.
again and again. We're going to have more lives for
Yeah.
you guys. And thank you for everyone who's watching right now. I know Human, Marjan, there are a couple of other people
Yeah.
that are watching here. Thank you very much for being here. And we are going to have more lives in the future. And for more information, if you wanted to know more about this business, as we said, if you are serious about it and you want to do your own research and even ask questions from us, you can go to Cheryl's page, or you can go to my page and ask away your questions. We can answer as much as we can. The best way to know about this business in details, it's just going through the 30 days trial, because that gives you all the levels of this business and everything will be explained in details in there too. And it's just kind of like an information session that they explain to you how this whole procedure, this module works. So I hope that you guys have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Enjoy your day, take care of yourself, and spend time with your family, with your loved ones. That's the biggest blessing for every one of us.
Yep.
So if you have any last words with everyone who's watching, go ahead.
Thank you so much, and everybody have a wonderful weekend.
Have a great one. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.